Thank you. So true. All right. It is the final stretch, final push in Northwest Ohio, becoming an epicenter of sorts for the congressional and Senate campaigns today. 9th District Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur, her opponent, State Rep Derek Marin, plus Bernie Marino, looking to unseat U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown, all making campaign stops in the region. Bernie Marino hitting the trail with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis in Van Wert, Defiance, and Northwood. At Spartan Northwood, a big warehouse and distribution center. Our cameras rolling there. DeSantis making his pitch for the Senate hopeful, pointing to his background in business. Marino declining an interview with us after the event, but did send us a statement. It reads, Bernie is traveling to every corner of Ohio to earn every vote in the final stretch. Sherrod Brown is lying to Ohioans on the airwaves because he can't defend his own far-left record. Going on to say in 5 days, Ohio will finally retire Sherrod Brown after 50 years in public office and send an outsider to the U.S. Senate. And during Marino's campaign event in Northwood, protesters stood across the street showing their support for Senator Sherrod Brown. Their demonstration included a big cat.
Well, Bernie Marino represents the big cats, the corporations. He doesn't represent working people. If he did, he'd pay his workers fairly.
And Witt telling us the protest was made up of local union workers. In the congressional race, State Rep Derek Marin, who's looking to unseat Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur, held a news conference in his home base in Monclova Township this morning, where he highlighted oil refineries in Lucas County and lowering energy costs.
Thousands of people are employed by these oil refineries. I'm going to do everything I can to support American energy, support oil and gas, and to continue to drill and develop resources here in America so we can become energy independent once again.
And Marin joined by GOP congressmen from Minnesota, Arizona, and Texas. Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur, looking to win re-election to a 22nd term, also held a rally in Northwest Ohio today, campaign event. She was at UTMC, final day of the Lower Costs, Better Care bus tour. Kaptur touting how she says Democrats have worked to lower health care costs.
Through the passage of the Inflation Reduction Act, 100,000 retirees across our region will not have to pay $2,000 more a year to cover the cost of their prescription drugs once they've already spent the first $2,000. We call this covering the donut hole for seniors.
And Congresswoman Kaptur joined by healthcare advocates there. Well, if you've already voted here in Lucas County, you may have noticed some pretty boisterous opposition to Toledo's mayoral term limit item on the ballot. We're going to show you Harold Harris. He is a one-man operation showing his opposition to the ballot item that would allow Toledo mayors to run for a third consecutive term, up from 2. Current Mayor Cap Sakavich says if the issue passes, he would seek another term. Now, Harris believes if the mayor agreed to 2 terms or 8 years when he first began, that's what he should stick to.
When I see a person that wants to kind of flip the rules to their advantage and use it for their own personal use, especially with voting. Normally a politician, when they serve, you go into office to serve the people, not yourself. And I see issue 9 as a self-serving issue for one person.
And a reminder for Toledo voters, a yes vote on issue 9 means you would agree to a new 3-term limit. If you vote no, you agree to keep the current 2-term limit in place.